The message came at 2:17 a.m. It wasn't from her. One line from him. You should tell him he's not an idiot. I lay there in the dark, phone lighting up the ceiling in a flickering blue hue. My eyes wide open, refusing to blink. The name on the screen, Adal. My brother. I didn't reply. I just lay next to her, listening to the rhythm of her breathing. Too steady, too controlled. I know the difference between real sleep and a performance. I've spent a lifetime watching people pretend. I flipped the phone over. The room went dark again. I stared upward, into nothing, as if the ceiling had all the answers I've been afraid to face. It had started small, little things. The way she would stiffen when he entered the room at family gatherings. How her laugh would shift, light, airy, but tight with guilt when he was near. And then there was my father. He couldn't meet my eyes. He looked at me like something fragile about a crack. It came into full focus on my mother's birthday. She cut the cake while my wife held our daughter, posing for a picture. My brother stood too close. His hand brushed hers as he passed the plate. Nothing dramatic, just a brush. But the silence that followed was loud, piercing. My father saw it too, and looked away. I stayed quiet, not out of ignorance, but out of calculation. Love blinds, but betrayal teaches. That night, I held my daughter for hours. I'd always believed her eyes were her mother's. That night, I wasn't so sure. 3 days later, I ordered the DNA kit. Swab her cheek. Overnight shipping. No questions asked. She didn't notice. Too busy on her phone. Texting. Deleting. She thought I didn't know. But I knew everything. I found the old phone in her drawer. The one she forgot to wipe clean. I read it all. What if he finds out? Asterisk he won't. My dad says just stay quiet. Asterisk. Her dad. That was the line that hit me hardest. Her father knew, and stayed silent. He has a stable job, one message read. He'll take care of us. Us. After that, I watched them all more closely. The way my father spoke to Adal. The way he avoided me, like I was some tragic pawn on a board they'd already played to checkmate. But I said nothing. I smiled. I played the good husband, the composed one. The quietest man in the room is the one you should fear. He's the one holding the blade behind his back. When the envelope arrived, it was plain. No branding. Just results. Clinical. Brutal. 0%. Not mine. Like the past years didn't happen. Like I was just a placeholder, a provider, a fool. I printed 2 copies. One for her. One for my mother. That night at dinner, I passed her the envelope. No explanation. Just truth. She opened it slowly. Her hands shook. I watched the realization roll across her face. Confusion, panic, and finally, dread. Does he know? She whispered. I tilted my head slightly. Who? She didn't answer. She didn't have to. Her eyes betrayed her. She meant Adal. That was enough. I filed the divorce papers that night. No yelling. No begging. Just quiet action. The next morning, I drove to my mother's place. I gave her everything. The report, the messages, the test photos. She read it all in silence. When she looked at me, it wasn't pity in her eyes. It was clarity. I'll take care of it, she said. By sunset, my father was gone. Adal, too. She didn't scream. Didn't ask questions. She just cut them out of her life like they were cancer. 3 days later, I watched the front window as my father stood outside the gate, hands buried in his pockets, waiting. She never opened the door. They thought silence meant weakness. But silence was where I sharpened every blade. My wife came once to speak. Tried to cry. Tried to apologize. I was scared, she said. I looked at her for a long time. No words. Just silence thick enough to suffocate. You use me. I finally said. She opened her mouth. Nothing came out. You're dead to me. Calm. Even. Final. Even the child. She flinched. Good. Now, the house is quiet. No fake smiles. No forced laughter. No lies dressed up as love. I sleep better. There's a picture of me alone on my mother's shelf. The one who stayed. She asked once if I regretted not speaking up sooner. I told her no. Pain drives people to act. But betrayal? Betrayal forces you to think. Let them live together. Let them feed off the fantasy they build on lies. And one day, when that little girl asks who her real father is, they'll have to choose. Lie again, or tell the truth and watch it poison everything. I'm not angry anymore. Just clean. Betrayal didn't ruin me. It refined me. Love made me blind. But now I see everything.